Hi, and welcome to Pet Pals. Every week we showcase animals that are available for adoption through the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. I'm Linda Shea, the Division Director. With me is Randy Cooper, and this week we don't have a lot of animals available for adoption, which is a good thing. A lot of our cats have been adopted this past week. Any dogs that we had on the show previously are in their forever homes now, so that is good. First little girl, though, that is still available for adoption, this is Roxy. Roxy came to the shelter in early January. She was found as a stray in Walkersville, and at the time that she came into the shelter back in early January, she was pregnant. So we placed her in foster care, and a week later she had 8 puppies. So that has been a task on her. The puppies are now available for adoption, and we're going to take a look at one of them right after we look at mom. But so often when we've got animals that come into the shelter that are pregnant or expecting puppies, kittens, bunnies, the little ones get adopted really quickly, and there's such heavy-duty competition for the puppies, for the kittens, for the baby bunnies, and then the moms tend to hang out a little bit longer. So we always try to showcase and market our mothers. Roxy is a great little girl. She's house trained. She has been in a family with other dogs. She's been in a family that's relatively busy with older kids, not necessarily young kids, but very tolerant. She's described by her foster family as a very attentive mother, very affectionate, and we have her down as a pit mix. Looking at her, she's definitely a mix of something. She's got that gorgeous brindle color. Her face to me looks a little bit like it might be boxer, but I will leave that up to whoever's watching to kind of figure out what they think she's mixed with. She's 74 pounds. We went ahead and what we do with our dogs now, we test them across the board for heartworm, Lyme, Ehrlichia, Anaplasma, and that's for any dog that we consider adoptable. Roxy is Lyme positive, which is not unusual in this area. We see a lot of dogs that have been exposed to ticks or left outside and are Lyme positive. She's about 2 years old. She is not symptomatic. A lot of times Lyme disease can affect joints, and the symptoms typically display as if it were arthritis, just discomfort in walking, joint inflammation, and she's asymptomatic. So that's a good thing. It would just be something to keep an eye on over time and to make sure that she's kept at a good weight and make sure that she's as comfortable as possible. Roxy's adoption fee would be $92.50. That covers getting her spayed, getting her microchipped, getting her current on the vaccines that she needs, including a rabies vaccine. So if you are looking for a very sweet young dog, again, she's only 2, I would consider Roxy just as a general good overall temperament, good size, and just very social. So this is Narissa. She is one of the 8 puppies from Roxy, and the puppies were born on January 15th, so they are just about now hitting 8 weeks. At this point, Narissa has no adoption applications, so we are showcasing her. We're pretty sure she will have applications pretty quickly. She is 15 pounds 12 ounces, so she's on the larger side of anybody in that litter. She again has been raised in foster care, so the advantage of that is she's been around people, she's been in a family environment. She has had her mom, so mom has instilled some good canine manners, bite inhibition, and things that humans can't necessarily replace when you're raising puppies. She's had the nutritional value of nursing from mom and all the immunity that comes with it, so these puppies have definitely had a good start in life, and of course being in a family as opposed to any other environment is to their benefit. You can tell they're well socialized, they're friendly, they're confident. So Narissa again is one of 8. We have brought her up to speed on vaccines for puppies. That includes a distemper vaccination, Bordetella, which is a preventative for kennel cough. We also deworm puppies, and we provide heartworm preventative. And what we also do with puppies is our adoption process is a little bit different for puppies. A lot of people think they want a puppy until it empties out on the carpet, until it chews your favorite pair of slippers, until it chews on carpeting or damages something. So we have a puppy process where we take up to 4 applications for each puppy, and then we do some screening and preliminary education There's some questions that come up. If you have never had a puppy, that doesn't necessarily rule you out of the process. What we want to make sure is that when we adopt these puppies out, they stay with the family that we adopt them to. So if you've never had a puppy before, you want to do some research, you want to ask lots of questions, you want to come into the shelter, and you want to be prepared. If a puppy this age comes into your home, they're not going to be house trained. So how tolerant are you of losing a piece of furniture or having to replace carpet? A lot of times when they're separated from their siblings, they get whiny in the middle of the night. So if you need 8 hours of beauty sleep, you want to reconsider getting a puppy. So all those things come into play. And if they're not house trained, and if you have a long commute, again, doesn't rule you out of the process, but you have to consider accommodations. Can you get a neighbor or a pet sitter or a friend to come in at lunchtime to allow the puppy to have some break time during the middle of the day? So those are all considerations, but we do take up to 4 applications in an effort to do the best job that we can do in placing puppies appropriately. So again, this is Narissa. She is just one of several puppies on our adoption floor at the moment that is looking for a forever home. So Mittens gets her own seat this morning on Pet Pals. She's been with us since middle of February. She is a domestic short hair. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up or not, but she is a Torby color. So that's a brown tabby with some orange mixed in there as well. She's about 4 years old. She came to us already spayed. She's on the larger side. She's about 12 pounds. Most cats on average are about 8 to 9 pounds, but depending on their body structure, some can actually be quite large. So she's a little bit overweight. We can manage that by just measuring her food, and I'm sure once she is not in the shelter anymore and she has access to a home with stairs and furniture, she will slim down a little bit just from that. She's very sweet. She came to the shelter when her family was moving, and just the stress from the move, they considered that to be too much on the kitty, so they decided to relinquish her to us. So we're looking for a home that is consistent for her. Again, she's only about 4 years old. Cats can live an average of 15 years, so she has many more years to go. If you are looking for a younger cat, but you don't want to deal with the kitten nonsense, cats somewhere between 2 and 4 years old fall into that category of they are still young, but they're still pretty inquisitive. Looks like Mittens likes to sit on laps. She certainly is agreeable to to sitting on furniture, so that would be a consideration. Again, anytime you're going to adopt an animal, one of the first questions you need to ask yourself is what your tolerance level is. A lot of times cats, it's almost impossible to train them to not get on furniture and sit, unlike dogs that you pretty much can work with that. But she is brought up to speed on vaccines. She did experience an upper respiratory infection when she was first here, but that has been resolved. Again, she's already spayed. Prior to leaving here, she will be microchipped. She's current on all vaccines, and her adoption fee would be $97.50. This little girl is Olive. We named her Olive. She came to us as a stray from Highland School Road in Myersville. A lot of times cats come to us, animals come to us from all over the county, and we hold them for 5 days in hopes that an owner will come forward. And in the case of Olive, nobody's come forward yet. She is already spayed, so we know that at some point she belonged to somebody. So regardless of where you live in Frederick County, if you're missing a pet, we are the only animal shelter. We are open admission. We take in animals from all over the county, provided they're either from the county or owner relinquished from within county limits, because we are 100% county tax funded. So even if you live in Adamstown, Myersville, Brunswick, Newmarket, and if you're missing a pet, you want to check the shelter on Rosemont Avenue. But Olive is here now. We estimate her age to be between 5 and 6 years old. She is polydactyl, meaning that she's got extra toes. So she's got, looks like at least 2 or 3 on the front paws. So her feet look huge. It's just due to the extra toes. A lot of folks consider that good luck. She's a diluted tortoiseshell, So regular tortoise shells are the black and orange colors blended together, and when you dilute black you get gray, when you dilute orange you get peach, so that's what the color olive is. Again, 5 to 6 years old, we have brought her up to speed on vaccines. Again, she came to us already spayed, so we know that at some point somebody did the right thing, had her spayed so she wouldn't be contributing to our population of unwanted kittens. She's a very sweet girl, very affectionate. She is about 10.5 pounds, so she's on the larger side. Seems like we have a lot of cats that have been well fed in their lives. And we do color code our animals for their temperament and personality. And if you have watched Pet Pals or if you have come into the shelter, you would realize that she is color coded blue. Definitely a lap cat, very comfortable on your lap, is just enjoying being pet and getting all that attention. So if you're looking for a very sweet cat, about 5 to 6 years old, Olive would be a good choice for your family. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of our other animals that are looking for homes at the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center.
Unable to attend a county meeting? No problem. Watch live and archived broadcasts online. Just visit frederickcountymd.gov/FCG-TV and then click the live stream or video archives link. Each year, the Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center serves thousands of animals in the community while working toward its mission, work that wouldn't be possible without the help of the many dedicated volunteers who donate their time to the division.
We utilize volunteers for foster care, working at the front desk, helping with events, in our in-house spay-neuter clinic. So volunteers come in and they have the ability to help with all aspects of shelter operations, but in the beginning, all start out at the same point. So the different programs specifically for volunteers typically in-house involves them socializing with animals. We at times have animals that live here over 100 days. So it's important that people come in and take dogs out for walks and play with them. It's important that cats have time maybe outside of their cage a little bit, but then also people are spending time petting them.
In addition to caring for animals, volunteers assist staff with customer service and cleaning duties. As they become more involved with the shelter, volunteers can take on different and more specialized roles.
These avenues may lead them to being a spay-neuter technician in our surgery room. It may mean that they help at our front desk with the administrative folks. I have individuals that go to events with me. So we go out into the public and try and raise awareness about what the shelter does and then what our goal and mission is in the community.
Frederick County Animal Control can never have too many volunteers. So if you're interested in taking the next step, here's what you need to know.
We basically ask that you be at least 10 years of age. So anyone who's 10 or older can volunteer with us. If you're between 10 years and 14 years of age, you do have to come with a parent or guardian who is also considered a trained volunteer. At 15, you can volunteer independently. So what we ask of volunteers is that you're able to participate in the program for at least 4 hours a month, and you visit us twice a month. So you can volunteer more than that, but that is the minimum for you to stay an active volunteer. People can sign up by volunteering several ways. Our in-house volunteers, they can come in, fill out an application, they'll be offered an orientation time, which orientation is the first step. That's non-committal. It's just an informational session of how the program works. Our website has my email address and a specific volunteer page that people can reach out that way.
For more information on how you can become involved in the Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, visit frederickcountymd.gov/FCAC and click on the volunteer link, or contact Sean Snyder by email at ssnyder@frederickcountymd.gov or by phone at 301-600-1546.
Help protect the environment and prevent prescription drug misuse by disposing of all your expired and unwanted household medications and prescription drugs safely. The Frederick County Health Department has teamed up with local law enforcement to provide 6 convenient drop-off sites for unwanted medication within the county. Locations include the Frederick Police Department, the Thurmont Police Department, the Frederick County Law Enforcement Center, the Brunswick Police Department, the Middletown Municipal Center, and the second floor of the Emmitsburg Community Center.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. This segment of Pet Pals, we only have 3 animals that are still looking for forever homes this week at the shelter. So if any of these guys catch your attention, you want to stop in and visit with them. This little guy is not so little. He's about 12.5 pounds. This is Bruno, and he is previously owned. This is his 3rd time at the shelter. He was adopted out about a year ago, and then adopted out I guess the 2nd time, and now he's back. And the reason he came in the first time, the person had developed allergies. So he was turned into the shelter and adopted, and then returned to the shelter. The family that adopted him most recently is moving. And those are the top 2 reasons that animals end up at our animal control facility. You want to realize when you add a family member to your family, a pet to your family, take into consideration if you've got any life changes that you're expecting. You want to take into consideration what you might do if your child develops allergies, if you end up having to move. Introducing a pet into your family is a decision, and it's one that shouldn't be taken lightly. While animals can be somewhat resilient, not all animals do well in animal shelters. Not all animals do well with a change in a consistent environment. If they are used to a family environment, if they're used to your family, you have an obligation to make it work somehow. You can contact us for resources, for information on managing. Certainly if you have allergies in your family, we would recommend that you not allow any pet into your bedroom. You're allowed, or you should have, at least 8 hours of sleep that's uninterrupted and certainly dander free. If you're moving, you want to make every effort you can to take the pet with you, to find accommodations that allow pets. We understand there can sometimes be a financial constraint or issue with renting properties. There might be an extra fee involved if you have a pet. But again, as a responsible pet owner, you've taken on this pet, and their expectation and our expectation in adopting out is that you will keep these pets for the rest of their lives. But this is Bruno. Again, he's very sweet, 6 to 7 years old, so he does qualify for a senior pet discount from the shelter, which is $20 off the regular adoption fee. So his adoption fee would be $77.50. We've tested him negative for feline leukemia and FIV. He's also been brought up to speed on vaccines. So now all he needs is somebody who will take him in and allow him to retire. So we keep promising that there is kitten season right around the corner, and Scully is just one little piece of evidence that indicates that is true and accurate. She came to our shelter back at early February, and she is finally, as of today, available for adoption. So she is one of many kittens that will be coming back to the shelter from foster care. So if you're looking to introduce a kitten into your family, check out the shelter. Over the next few weeks, you'll be seeing an increase in our kitten population, and certainly as they come back to the shelter, we'll be showing them on Pet Pals. We'll have them on our other outlets, Pet Finder, Pet Tango, and other on Facebook. If you are not already a Facebook fan, you want to make sure that you like us so that you can follow our our comings and goings and which animals are available for adoption. But this little girl is about 12 weeks old now. That puts her at about 3 pounds. We've gone ahead and she has had vaccines provided to her while she's been in our care, kind of growing up. We wait until kittens are 3 pounds to make them available for adoption. They can actually come back to the shelter a few ounces shy of the 3-pound mark, but once they're 3 pounds, that's the safest mark, and that's when we would be able to spay or neuter them and then adopt them out. So we want to make sure that they are the fully 3 pounds prior to undergoing anesthesia. But with Scully, we have again given her deworming, preventative vaccines. We've applied flea and ear mite prevention. She has tested negative for leukemia and feline immunodeficiency viruses. Those are 2 viruses that's important to know about if you've got existing cats in your family. You want to make sure that if you're introducing a new cat, you're not introducing anything that is unfamiliar that might compromise the cats in your existing population. Scully came to us as a stray from Monrovia. So if you find a stray animal, you want to make sure that you call into animal control. We are open admission, so we do take in animals. We don't want anybody to be put at risk, so if you are hesitant about capturing kittens or cats or a stray dog running at large, you want to make sure that you call us and we can advise you the best way if we can come out to get that animal or if you would be able to bring it to us. During the summer months, it gets extremely busy. Last year we responded to over 10,000 calls for service. A large portion of that are animals that are running at large. So that is one of the reasons why we exist, to help our citizens and provide service in that capacity. And if you're interested in the numbers that we kind of deal with, since July 1st, we have had over 21,000 visitors to the shelter. So that is an increasing number, I think, as folks get more and more knowledgeable about animal shelters, and specifically our animal shelter, what we do, and the animals that we are trying to find homes for. So Scully is just one of those animals, and again, if you're looking to introduce a kitten into your home, if you're looking to adopt, just give it some time, keep checking back, because I can assure you we will have floor-to-ceiling kittens before you know it. This little girl may look familiar. This is Miranda. She is one of a few guinea pigs that we have at the shelter at the moment, and we chose to showcase her again because she's still here. She can certainly hold up her end of the conversation. Miranda was turned in from an owner that had too many guinea pigs, and part of that situation is that they've got a mom and a dad that created new little guinea pigs. So you want to make sure if you have guinea pigs in your home that there are way too many. We work with Small Angels Rescue. They do a great job and very helpful job at pulling guinea pigs from the shelter when they arrive, but it is irresponsible to continue to create animals when there's no homes and no families for them. So if you need resources or assistance, if you've got intact animals in your home that you want to get spayed or neutered, and guinea pigs can be altered as well as dogs and cats, we can provide you information on that. Guinea pigs in general are very social, they're fairly sturdy. The mistake some parents make is thinking that a small child can take care of a guinea pig by themselves, and they really can't. Guinea pigs need to have their cages spot cleaned at least once a day, full cleaned at least once a week. They need special guinea pig pellets that are good nutrition. They need a variety of vegetables, dark greens, to help them maintain their shiny coats and clean teeth. And they also need to be housed in a safe environment, especially if you've got other animals in your house that might be a little bit creative, that might be a little bit too interested in a rodent living in your home. You want to make sure that they are kept safe. They also need outside of the cage time at least every day, just to exercise, stretch their legs on different types of surfaces. A lot of times carpet squares come in handy for that. You can get different types of carpet squares. You can get shag carpet, you can get the close knit kind that they can kind of run around and exercise on. And of course that needs to be in a safe environment, away from wires and away from doors and so forth. So if you've never had a guinea pig, you want to make sure again that you do your research. A lot of times people are just heartbroken. They want to have a pet and then they fail to recognize how much time and effort it takes to maintain a pet safely. So this little guy is Spot. He is our, well, one of 2 resident pigs at the moment. Came to us from Tranquility Court in Monrovia back in January. So he's been in our shelter for quite a while. We are really designed for dogs and cats. So coming upon a pig that's a stray, we're open admission. We do take in all animals that need us within Frederick County, and so that's why Spot is with us at the moment. We are looking for somebody to adopt him as a pet. Or we're looking for a legitimate rescue that can help us out. Spot has become more social since he's been here, and I think part of that is just the consistent routine that we have provided to him. When he arrived, we had just experienced the blizzard. It was too cold for him to be outside, so we housed him indoors with hay and with a blanket to crawl under and appropriate food and nutrition. And then as the weather has gotten warmer, we've been able to move him outside here, so he has sort of a run-in shed to hide in if he wants privacy. He still has hay. We are out here at least twice a day interacting with him, feeding him, and socializing. But pigs present a certain amount of challenge to a shelter. He is unique to us. We can't handle him the same way that we handle the rest of our more traditional pet animals that are here. So again, if you are interested in adopting, do some research, contact us. If you are a legitimate pig rescue, we ask also that you contact us. And the other question we would have, just to the general public, we're kind of struggling with what breed he is. So we're interested to know if you've got pig experience and can help us out, kind of narrow down what kind of breed he is. That would be helpful. At the moment, he's about 65 pounds. We are in the process of determining if he is, we're pretty sure he is not neutered, so we will try to get that done prior to him leaving here. But again, this is Spot, our resident pig, and we are just putting him out there for either adoption or rescue. This week on Pet Pals and the prior week, you might have noticed that we've kind of improvised our set. We are in an office space because we did take in a large number of cats from one home. So if you are in a situation where you've got too many pets, you want to make sure you contact the shelter. We can help you get those animals spayed and neutered before they get out of control. Over the next week or so, we expect to start processing the cats that we took in, hopefully making some available for adoption. And certainly if you are a rescue, if you've got a 501c3, if you've worked with us before, we invite you to come in and take a look at the cats that we have. But again, we're very hopeful that these guys will be able to be, some will be able to be put on the adoption floor, and as they become available, we will showcase them on Pet Pals and hopefully get back our education room pretty quickly. So thanks for joining us on Pet Pals. Again, if you've seen any animals here that you're interested in or may have friends or family interested in adopting, let us know. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on Pet Pals.